Good morning, students. We are continuing the revision of third chapter of macroeconomics, that is determination of income and employment. And some of the terms I have discussed in the previous lecture, and today I'll discuss some more concepts and some more terms. MPC, I have told you, that is the ratio of change in consumption due to change in income, is called marginal propensity to consume, or MPC. Its symbol is delta C upon delta Y. Next is MPS. The ratio of change in saving due to change in income is called marginal propensity to save, and symbol is delta S upon delta Y. Next is saving function. As I have told you, consumption function and in the same way there is saving function. The relation between saving and income is called saving income. Students, as consumption is related with income, in the same way saving is also related with the income. If there is no income, there is no saving. If our income increases, our saving also increases. Next is APC, average propensity to consume. The ratio of total saving to total income is called average propensity to save, and its symbol is, its formula is S upon Y. S means total saving, Y means total income. S upon Y is equal to APC. Then APS. APS, the ratio of total saving to total income, S upon Y, is equal to APS. And students, one more formula to learn, that the sum of APC and APS is 1. APC and APS is divided, and when we sum up these two, the answer is 1. If we have to derive APC or APS from some given values, income or consumption, whatever is given in your numericals, and APC and APS, if we have to derive both, first we will find APC by the formula C upon Y, and then we don't have to use the formula of APS, we just minus APC, subtract APC from 1, and we will get APS. In the same way, if we have derived APS already by using the formula S upon Y, and now we have to find APC, so we don't need to use the formula again C upon Y, we just subtract APS from 1 and we will get APC. So APC plus APS is equal to 1. Next, break-even point. Break-even point refers to that point of level of income at which consumption expenditure becomes exactly equal to income, where there is no saving. Consumption expenditure income के बिल्कुल equal हो जाता है, that is known as break-even point. Then investment. Investment refers to addition of capital stock, existing stock of physical assets like new buildings, machinery, and change in inventories. Investment function, it is the behavior of investment corresponding to different levels of income or employment. Then autonomous investment, it refers to investment which is made irrespective of level of income. It is generally done in government sectors. Students, autonomous consumption is there, autonomous investment is there. What does the word autonomous mean? Autonomous mean independent, irrespective of level of income, जिसका income के साथ कोई relation नहीं है. income कम हो तब भी वो होगा, maybe it's consumption or investment. income ज़्यादा हो तो भी वो होगा. It is done by government sector. Marginal efficiency of investment, it refers to expected rate of return from marginal unit of investment. Marginal unit means additional unit. अगर एक additional unit investment की लगाई गई है तो उससे expected rate of return कितना है, कितना हमें उससे return मिलेगा, कितना हमें उससे फ़ायदा होगा, that is known as marginal efficiency of investment. Then realized saving, it is the actual amount of saving that take place at the end of the period. And exempt saving, the saving at which households desire to make in the economy at different levels of income during a period of time. So there are two terms related, exempt and realized. Exempt is just planned and realized is whatever we get in actual. So students, revise these terms daily whatever is taught. That's all for today. Thank you.